Hey, welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Patholkis, and we're doing Future Man Season 1, Episode 11, Beyond the TruffleDome. Um, again, if you haven't seen this show, I don't know what the hell you're doing. You're missing out. I don't get paid by Hulu, anything like that. I don't work for them. Go and grab a free Hulu account. It's a 30-day free trial. You can watch season 1, which is up right now. Season 2 is going to drop January 11th, and it's going to drop in its entirety. So you should be able to see both seasons for free. There you go. So with that said, if you haven't seen the episode yet, I'm going to spoil the shit out of it. So spoiler alert, you've been warned. I am going to spoil the entire episode Beyond the TruffleDome here. Thank you again to Viking Bitch for the paddle. But yeah, this has been a good series. I love this series. It's comedy, sci-fi, time travel, all the goodness that you could ever want in there, and even butt chugging too. It's got that in there as well, which we got in this episode. And the thing I really like about this too is that it leaves off every episode starts where the previous episode left off. So there's no lag in there. There's it's really good, really good. Spoiled shit sounds like you need a plunger, Slurmy Scott. Yeah, we'll plunge things out for you. But that's what the butt chugging's for, is to clear that stuff out. So we have Tiger and Josh. They were in 2017. We see a new Kronos laboratory, or this big building with a big red K on it with a circle around it, and then it's not the Circle K. Turns out that it's the Chronotorium. And the Chronotorium, the Chronotorium is where biotics come from. And it's 50 years too soon for that to be there, because it's not supposed to happen until after Cronish's death. And basically found out that because of Josh's interference and telling Cronish what basically everything that he went through with time travel and everything else like that, he caused Cronish to accelerate all of his research and his findings. And now we have the Chronotorium in 2017. Tiger gets pissed at Josh, basically tells him to fuck off. As she says, she's leaving. He says, "Where are you going?" She says, "Far away from you, fuck nose." And that's it. So she ends up going back on her original mission to go back to 1949 and kill baby Elias Cronish in his crib. Yeah, those are the time travel rules. Time travel rules are a bitch. Movie Finobi. So Tiger is stalking baby Elias out in the rain outside of his house when Elias's mom opens the door and sees her and says, "Well, what are you doing out here?" She goes, "Come on in out of the rain, get some, warm clothes on, and I'll feed you," and everything like that. She actually shows some kindness to her, and we find out that Elias's dad had died. Elias's dad was a war hero. He had fought on Omaha Beach, lost one leg there, and lost the other leg to frostbite because he had to take off his sock to tie a tourniquet to a wounded soldier's wound, and ended up getting frostbite because he gave up his sock for that. So he was a legless man who eventually died of tuberculosis a couple of months before Elias was born. So there we go. So Tiger didn't realize that Elias's dad was a soldier, and she's kind of, regretting this at this point. And Elias's mom is making some tea for her and picks up baby Elias and hands her to Tiger. Says, "Oh, can you hold him while I make the tea?" She goes, "Oh, watch out for the soft spot. One, wrong touch on the top of his head there could kill him." And of course, that's what you want to tell someone who's there to kill your baby, but she doesn't know this at the time. So a year later, we find out that she's still there, working as Elias's nanny, and posing. Her name now is Diane, is what Tiger is calling herself to Elias's mom. And every night that she puts him to sleep, she goes, "You sleep tight. I'll kill you tomorrow." So we have our Princess Bride reference in this one. Again, this show references a lot of pop culture, a lot of movies, sci-fi, comedy, you name it. And that's what's actually really great about this. And it does it in a smart way. It works it in uh, naturally or organically, if you can say that, and really makes it a lot of fun. So yeah, Tiger was killed with kindness and discovered a true family at this point, because we know that Tiger's been looking for a new family, her family, if you will, um, ever since her troops got killed in the massacre. So in 1952, we see that and this is now 3 years later, Elias's mom is getting ready to get remarried, and she goes, "Oh, he proposed to me," and she goes, "We're going to move in. Me and Elias are going to move in with him, but that doesn't mean you," is what she says to Diane. Diane's like, "Oh, okay." And Elias's mom is like, "Yeah, you need to go out and find your own people, your own family, and start your own family. How about finding that wolf fella that you always were talking about?" Tian, thank you very much, Slurmy Scott. Uh, and Tian? No, I thought it was Diane, is what she was calling herself after Josh's mother's name. She was calling herself Diane. But yeah, so all of a sudden Tiger gets very cold blooded and says, she goes, "Yeah, I need to leave. You reminded me. I was actually here when you found me that night. I was here on another mission that I got sidetracked on." And so I'm going to go say goodbye to Elias. And so we see her in Elias's room. He's in his crib, and she's got a knife holding it over his head. And then we see her walking out the door, the front door. And all of a sudden, Elias's mom opens up the front door and goes, "Did you just leave a knife in Elias's crib?" She goes, "Yes, it's a gift. Give it to him on his 5th year." So she, cannot kill Elias at this point. She's bonded with him at this point, and there's no way in hell she's going to be able to do this. So Tiger ends up coming back to 2017 and goes back to the sewer and finds a shrine to Wolf, who died in the 1990s. Yeah, I love the little kerchief on the stick as well, the hobo sack, if you will. Slurmy Scott, that was actually pretty damn funny. So she finds a memoriam, a little shrine to Wolf down in the sewer, which the candles are lit. So obviously someone's been going down there and lighting candles for him. And he died in a sewer shootout, is what it says in a newspaper clipping. So as Tiger is carving Wolf's name into the wall of the sewer, she sees a little mark on the side of one of the electrical boxes, opens it up, and finds tape recording, and it's actually Wolf's recounting of his life, is what he's doing, his journal, if you will. And Wolf goes back. We see him in 2163, him and Tiger growing up in the sewers, and how he got his scar in his eye as a child, helping out Tiger, and of course Tiger helping him by giving him half a rat, heads or tails. And she rips the rat in half. Yeah, Wolf's monologue, exactly. And then we see in 1985, he reinvents himself as Corey Wolfhart, chef. He's an immersive chef it's an immersive dining experience where he kidnaps people off the street, brings them down to the sewer, and because they're so terrified that they thought they were going to die, all the endorphins that are going off, and feeds them this exotic food. And because of the combination of the endorphins and the exotic food, it's the best meal they've ever had in their life. And also, of course, he knows how to cook at this point, too. As he put it, he goes, "You know where you're going? Heaven. But you don't have to die to get there." And we also find out that Blaze is Wolf's wingman and bartender. Not only that, he's the person that is willing to go out and kidnap these people without any question. That Wolf, basically grabs. And it's an all cash business. So he actually charges these people. He kidnaps them, feeds them, and gets money from them as well. Wheelbarrows full of money. Exactly, Movie Finobi. He makes shit tons of money. And it gets very popular. As a matter of fact, he says more stars came in Wolfhart's than in Rob Lowe's Malibu fuck pad. And I love We've got a couple with sacks over their heads that are sitting there at the table. And they're supposed to be movie stars. And Wolf comes up. He goes, I normally don't do this, Miss Roberts, but I had to say that scene in Terms of Endearment where you have the seizure with the juice gets me every time. So funny. Only Wolf can bring that scene to find a comical solution to that one. Yeah, people getting paid to be kidnapped, threatened with their lives, and have a dining experience, and then pay for it as well. Yes, exactly. It's very avant-garde. So in 1989, his restaurant wins a prestigious award, and he's just rolling in money. And he's also taught Blaze obviously how to read at this point because of Blaze, who is a former male prostitute. Now he's not, of course, because of Wolf, and wasn't able to read. So Wolf taught him to read. And Blaze introduces Wolf to Coke. He says, "You know what? You gave me a bump, so I'm going to give you a bump." And yeah, that's where Wolf's cocaine addiction starts now, is thanks to Blaze. And Wolf ends up doing a lot of coke. As he puts it, there's no downside to cocaine. If you can try it, I highly recommend it. I don't highly recommend it, just so you know. That is Wolf talking. Sorry, I almost got a paper cut there. Ow. That was kind of an odd one. So Wolf, of course, Skarsgård sees the review of Wolf's restaurant, the Corey Wolfhart review in the magazine, and tracks down Wolf to his restaurant and wants to confront him about Santiago's murder because he's still looking for Santiago's murderer. Slurmy Scott are Wolf and Blaze boyfriends. I think because Blaze will do just about anything and has a questionable past, shall we say, and Wolf has no boundaries whatsoever. It could be because we've seen that Wolf, as he put it, to recharge will take either or. So it could very well be. They never really explore that. And Santiago comes in, of course, to arrest him for Skarsgård comes in to arrest Corey Wolfhart for Santiago's murder, and he's like, "I don't know who the hell you are." He goes, "I didn't do anything," and he goes, he sends him out. He goes, "Get out of here! You're blacklisted. You and Dan Aiello, go have fun dumpster diving over at Spago's for a reservation." So Spago's is actually supposed to be worse now than Spago's, by the way, an old Wolfgang Puck restaurant, for those of you who weren't familiar with the 80s. And Wolfgang Puck pizza and all that kind of crap. Yeah, that was a very popular late 80s, early 90s thing. Yeah, the Danny Aiello drop. And then also just the all the references that he made to Top Gun and Cocktail and a couple of other really, as he put it, deep cuts of bro movies, if you will. I can guess Slurmy Scott from the movies that he referenced, that yes, him and Blaze are boyfriends at this point in time. I'm going to say that much because now thinking back on it, the movies that he referenced, how shall I say this PC wise, they are very homoerotic in nature. That's all I'm going to say. Top Gun especially. So he ends up getting bored with what he's cooking. So he ends up deciding to show all these diners what he dined on as a kid. So he's feeding them maggots and what is an unseasoned rat miscarriage was my favorite. And just all kinds of crap. And these people are eating it and paying him money. They love everything that he's giving him. But by 1992, he nixed himself, as he puts it. Stevie nixed himself by doing too much coke to the point where he burned out his taste buds and can't smell anything anymore. And of course, can't taste anything anymore either. and has to resort to getting coke blown up his ass in order to feel anything. And Blaze, of course, being his wingman, is the one that will do it because he's with them, I guess, till the end. There we go. Um, and he's still going down at this point, down the blaze of glory, I guess you could say. Yeah. In 1993, Wolf decides to set up a fight club, if you will, where the winners get to walk home with a exotic truffle. It's this giant exotic truffle. So he's got this cage set up, and he has these two yuppies go in, and he gives one a lance and one a axe, and tells them to fight to the death. And they're like, and they think he's just joking, so they start having a tickle fight, and then flip a coin to see who's going to get pinned by who. And of course, this, as the yuppie pulls out the coin and yells out heads or tails, this makes him flashback to, yes, it's the TruffleDome. It is Welcome to the TruffleDome. And as the yuppie is yelling out heads or tails, he flashes back to Tiger and his time as kids. And he gets enraged. He realizes that these yuppies have never had to fight for anything in their lives. So, of course, they don't know anything about this. No one else understands this except for Tiger, and that he abandoned the mission. And what the hell is he doing? So he ends up jumping into the ring and breaks the lance that says, "A lance for Lance." And stabs the guy in the leg and asks the other guy if he wants to die. And of course he says no. So he goes, "Get the hell out of here." And Wolf basically ends up going ape shit and breaking up the place. And everyone screams and takes off. Yeah, my name's Greg. A lance for Lance. He goes, "My name's Greg." After he gets stabbed in the leg. So of course Blaze is still Blaze and goes, "Hey man, are you okay? You seem a little on edge." And Wolf tells him, you got to lay low. Why don't you go and hide out? He goes, "I've got a buddy that lives out in Ojai, and he has a guest house. He's a good guy. His name's OJ." And Blaze goes, "OJ Simpson?" He goes, "Yeah, OJ Simpson." He says, "Why don't you go live out there?" So, a little allusion to who the real killer was out in the OJ house. It was Blaze. That was the real person out there. So yeah, Wolf realizes, what kind of mistake he's made on abandoning the mission, and decides that he's going to commit suicide. And that's why he's been, recording this whole thing, all around, and has hidden it away just in case Tiger, of course, comes back and finds it. And he calls Skarsgård to have Skarsgård come out and kill him. And he's doing one more butt chugging before he leaves. He's got a little piece of tubing going down to his ass as he's blowing it in there. And Skarsgård walks in just in time to see that. And Skarsgård says, "You think you're not the first scumbag trying to do suicide by cop? It's not going to work." And of course, Wolf says, he goes, "I've got one thing to tell you. I'm never going to surrender." And he's reaching around behind his back, and Skarsgård's telling him not to. And just before Wolf can pull out his hand, who pops in but Tiger using the TTD? She knocks out Skarsgård and grabs Wolf and says, "I got your message." And they start to jump to 2017, and Skarsgård, still not fully out, brings up his gun, and we see he's got scars now on this side of his face. He's got some scratches on this side of his face. Shoots at both Tiger and Wolf and hits the TTD as Tiger and Wolf show up in 2017. They realize, though, that he's got his scar back because of the unstable cameronium. And, of course, Tiger has to ask, "Why does my asshole feel numb?" And that's where we leave it off at. They've switched some body parts once again. And they're back in 2017, but without a TTD device, because that's been damaged now, and no cameronium because the cameronium has leaked out as well. Wow. So another fun, good episode. And Yeah, man. It's and you're right, movie Fanobi. Funny words, gross food. The rat miscarriage. There's a lot of stuff in this. We got, backstories on some people. Um, we it was a lot of stuff packed into one episode, and it's only half an hour long, and it was just really good. Again, if you're not watching it, you should be. That's all I can say. There's a lot of stuff out there on TV right now. Definitely go out there and take a look at this one. This is one of the things you should be spending your time on. It is one of those things that is worth spending your time on. So, Slurmy Scott says Wolf does the I have no idea bluff on the numb ass, but he knows. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. He knows exactly why her asshole is numb. And yeah, I'm not going to touch that one because I was going to go someplace else, but no, I'm not. And yes, and Tiger was super happy to be reunited with Wolf. Well, it's her family. So she realized that he's her family, and he realized that she's his family. So there we go. And I'm excited for episode 12, which is going to happen tomorrow. We get to see Josh, what Josh has been doing all this time in this 2017. And what's happened to him. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So whatever else think? Everyone like this? This show gives you enough character and story beats without overdoing it. So good story and twisted fun. It's good stuff. Yeah, and like I said, it's got a lot in it, and it's very well written. It's fast paced. It throws a lot of movie references out there that are very well timed and very well done. And yeah, Kato, it is almost too funny the way this show and there's a lot of stuff that you miss in just that half an hour. I mean, granted, this is my second time going through the whole series. It's I'm still picking up stuff that I missed the first time around. Yeah, it wasn't my favorite episode of the series either, but it's a good episode. Yeah, my favorite episode is still the James Cameron episode, Pandora's Mailbox. It's just because there's so many fucking James Cameron jokes in there that it's and movie references to it, because James Cameron, time travel, sci-fi, it's ripe for the picking, especially on a sci-fi comedy show. And yeah, 30 minutes, no filler. That's the nice thing about it. It moves along at a good pace. There's no dead spots in this show. It really does maximize its potential, unlike other shows that are out there right now. And there's a lot of those other shows out there right now. That's all I'm going to say, that are on big networks. So definitely looking forward to season 2 on January 11th. And yes, it's very underrated. It needs to be marketed a lot more than it is. I don't know how they're going to get that out there, to tell you the truth. I don't think Hulu has a big advertising budget. And I think they mainly just do it on their app and their website. That's pretty much it. I haven't seen any commercials outside of that. Normally you'll see crossovers like for NBC stuff. We're seeing that on Hulu for NBC shows, but we don't see Hulu shows being, advertised on NBC or ABC or wherever else. It's Hulu and Stars both suck at marketing. I definitely agree there, Movie Fanobi. It's one of those things that, Slurmy, you're right. You watch and then look up and boom, the episode is over, and you don't notice the time flying by at all. It's like I said, 30-minute episode, quick, painless, and funny as hell, and it engages you as well. I never ever look at my clock unless I'm going to the commercial. I have the Hulu with the ads in it, so it actually has the commercials in there. Movie Fanobi says Disney owns or will own 65% of, I think it's closer to 75% of Hulu. They're going to be the majority holder, yes. So what does Hulu mean? I don't know. I think it means hula dancer, Yeah, I'm not going to make that noise ever again, or that movement, because that was just bad. If you actually want a fun thing to look at, look up, and it's in the YouTube videos, hula chair. Yeah, hula chair. Hula. Yeah. It's something that was supposed to be sold as an ergonomic device. It's the funniest damn thing I've ever seen. So, with that said, I'm going to let you guys go and get on with the rest of your day. I am going to do Counterpart tomorrow at tomorrow being Sunday. I'm looking at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I think that'll do it right there. Yes, Counterpart, episode 5. And you know what? Why don't we say 10 a.m.? Sure, we'll say 10 a.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we'll stick with Future Man at 2 p.m. And we'll do episode 12 at 2 p.m. That sound good to everybody? With that said, I'll let you guys go. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may find yourself getting butt chugged by your best friend. Good night.